Kia ora koutou e te whānau. Welcome back to Big Hairy News with myself, Pink Pat, and Chewie. Regular Chewie. How you doing?
It's me, friend Chewie. I am here as normal because there needs to be an anchor of normalcy in people's Thursday nights. Otherwise, it's cats or dogs living together. It's just crazy.
They'll freak out because I'm not. Well, if Magenta was here too, then it would just be a Friday show on a Thursday. And I don't know if the people could handle that. That's a lot of change.
Just throw you completely out of whack.
Yep. How was your work day? Anything exciting? It's your Friday officially, isn't it?
It is my Friday. How to describe my day? Okay. So, when you don't take your rubbish bin out enough and there's the bin juice at the bottom?
Yep.
Yeah. And then you got to get the bag out. You got to take it out because you've left the rubbish till the last minute. And there's a trail of bin juice across the floor that you drag your socks through as you run to get it to the gate. And then you miss the rubbish collection anyway. That's an analogy for my entire day. Just wet socks, wet with bin juice. It was unpleasant.
I just told
nightmare.
Chewie. I just told Chewie before we went live, saying, you know those old people who have old phones that you've been telling all week to tell them to go and get their phones checked? I was just saying that mine is one of those phones, and apparently I can get a dumb phone as an immediacy fix, but I love my phone. It's got no security. I'm being spied on, but
you can't doom scroll your spare time away on a dumb phone. There's no Instagram reel. You can't check your Spotify Wrapped and find out.
Does it have hotspot?
No.
Does it have a hotspot? Okay, I might need to upgrade a little bit.
It can be a hotspot if you set it on fire. That would be it.
Okay.
Hey, look, let's pretend to be the real big boy serious news media today. What was your Spotify Wrapped, Em? Did you have a Spotify Wrapped?
I got my YouTube year of like a month ago. So I can tell you that I could. Oh, look, here it is. Actually, no, never mind. That was my YouTube. Here's my music one. Shall we do it live? My recap of the year.
As long as it's not Spotify.
I hate Spotify. Buckle up. 2025 recap is cleared for takeoff. I freaking hate this. If everyone, I don't know what this is in context, but I would love to love to know what everyone else's context is to this. So I apparently listened to 17,900 minutes of music, which my longest streak was about 10 days. One song really went the distance. Oh, hell yeah. Do you listen to these guys? You would love them.
No, I'm not familiar with them.
The Bluestones. I highly recommend them. They're a good band. I'm in the top 2% of listeners. There you go.
I saw something. I should have saved it. I should have been. Oh, no. Here we go.
Oh, look. My wedding song made it into my number 3 spot.
That's important.
That's important.
Now, because StreamYard is being a dick, you'll have to put this image up for me there.
What do you got?
That is from Fishy in our Discord community, who's managed 18,571 minutes. Because as much as I want to shit on Spotify, obviously, the BHN audio podcast is there. So there's that.
That's 1,000 minutes more than I've listened to music, and I listen to a lot of music. So that's a lot of BHN. So well done.
I can only assume that Fishy is the angriest person alive.
Yeah. Yep. Apparently my top artist of the year was 21 Pilots, and that's because the album that they dropped was an absolute banger, and the previous album that they dropped was also an absolute banger. I love me a concept album. That's like my go-to. Freaking love it.
Well, because I'm a serious music snob and a hipster and all of those things, and I use a music streaming service from France called Cubuzz. Nobody knows.
Nice.
Nobody knows how to pronounce it. That's the thing. The people that work there don't know how to pronounce it. They don't do a Wrapped, so I can only assume that my top band will be the usual top band. It will be Murder by Death, because they've been making me sad all year by quitting.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice. Well, yeah, I need to go through that and double check, but yeah, I pretty much could have guessed it. I love my music. I'm also a music hipster snob because good music is good and the radio sucks balls. That's all I have to say about that. And if you listen to the radio, get a fucking playlist. Or
I had to
actually,
listen.
this is what I'm going to start doing. Is I'm going to get the physical music back up and running, because the AI master race is going to kill us all, and I don't want to lose the good stuffs.
Well, actually, speaking of music, probably the best thing that I did this year was I found an old hard drive completely full of music from my old radio station in the early to mid 2000s, and decided to go through that. And then someone suggested to me that Plex Media Server has just a music streaming app called Plexamp. And so for a lot of time, I've just been driving around in my car like it is 2002, listening to everything that I was into back then. And it's rejuvenating. It's very, very good. And then every now and then, it spits out a song that hasn't aged very well at all, or a man in the band has turned out to be a terrible monster, and then it's a race to sort of just slap that song out of the playlist forever.
I had a lot. I still actually have all my music. I was so tempted to delete it all because I was like, this is taking up like a good 600 gigs. It's like half the drive is just music. But then I remembered that there's actually a lot of indie stuff on there that you cannot get on the likes of Spotify and YouTube. So I'm quite glad that I have not deleted it, because those indie bands are real good.
Did you see Christopher Luxon trying to be a relatable, real human boy with his Spotify Wrapped?
I avoided it because I could care less, but I imagine it was the most cringy thing. Do we need to go and have a look at it? Is it
yeah, we do. So one of the things about Spotify Wrapped, which is super dumb this year, is that it gives you a listening age. So it's working on the theory that the music that you listen to the most via like decade or whatever is the stuff that was most popular when you were 18. For a lot of people, I
understand.
Out, right?
Yeah, okay.
Does that make sense? I feel like I've mangled the description, but generally speaking,
yes.
Popular music theory says once you discover your tastes at around 18, 19, you tend to stick with those bands. So Luxon's one, I've got, oh Jesus, God, I hate StreamYard at the moment. You can put my screen up if you want there.
There you go.
Apparently that thumb of a man, his listening age is 27. And I don't know how to feel about that. Yeah, it's weird.
I thought it was how your music taste is comparable with a 27-year-old, but not the age in which like your music was formed. And this is like, so I don't know if you got the same text, but apparently Papa Pat is a 2010s, late 2010s. So his age is 22.
There's Luxomatic's top artists and top songs. I draw the jury's attention to number 5 in his top songs. Atlas. I told you.
Wait,
the conspiracy is true.
I thought I listened to music 37,000? That can't be right.
37,684 minutes of music on the taxpayer's dollar. He's working incredibly hard. He's laser focused.
That's insane. Like, I listen to a lot of music. Apparently not as much as I thought. 37,000 for a prime minister seems like a lot.
Yeah.
It has to be a shared account. That has to be a shared account.
I don't want to yuck anybody's yum. But yuck. Yuck.
Post Malone and Ed Sheeran?
It's a weird
Oasis.
combo. And some dude called Zach. I don't know who that is.
His top genre is acoustic. I have questions.
How is acoustic a genre?
Well, it is acoustic ... so it might be like acoustic pop or something.
I think what this actually is, right, is I've noticed how popular Spotify Wrapped is, and its social media team of 7 to 12 people have decided that they need to curate. So they've just locked one of those interns in a room with a tablet with just Christopher Luxon's Spotify account, and they've just gone, just listen to popular music. We just generate that person died. They lost their mind listening to 37,500 minutes of Post Malone and Ed Sheeran. Pour one out for the homie.
Just, yeah, it's a lot.
Yep, absolutely. Anyway, that's enough Spotify.
A lot for our Prime Minister.
Their owner is
go do your fucking job.
Profits. Spotify's owner is funneling his profits into AI-driven kill bots. So maybe the less we dwell on it, the better.
Yes. Right. Well, hi everyone. We should probably do an actual show about news and politics and all of that stuff, considering it's kind of our MO. But sometimes we just gotta, do what's currently relevant. And sometimes that's your Spotify Wrapped. Right. But we should probably, before we do that, go and say thank you. Not to these guys, but these guys. Our patrons who support us and help us make the show possible, who have also helped us in proxy to help us with our Christmas event, which is coming up tomorrow and this weekend. I'm heading to Dunedin tomorrow, actually. Exciting
I'm already
times.
here.
Oh, yeah. I heard someone else is already there too, so maybe it's Pat. It might be someone else. But, yeah, if you want to become a patron, you can go to patreon.com/BigHairyNews and you can find out what it's all about. You get sneak peeks. Sometimes you get pre-records before everyone else gets to see them. And sometimes merch drops and things before everyone else. And speaking of merch, if you want to get yourself a nice present or someone else a present for Christmas, you can always go to the shop, shop.nz, and get yourself a bright orange Chewie Foo hoodie, because that's what's cool.
That's the best.
And you can wear our resident Santa in a beanie for Christmas. Or Nala. Wilbur, who I'm looking forward to seeing.
There's so many choices.
So many choices. Right. And thanks to everyone in the chat. And all of your super chats. And all of the people that make this possible. All right, what do we want to start with? Do you want to... I suppose we should probably cap off the Mariameno stuff that was... that's been happening this week.
So what's happened? Everybody's gotten together, aired their grievances, shook on it, and we're back to business? Is that what's happened?
No, I don't think that is what's happened, unfortunately.
Okay.
I've lost my tab. Did I close it? You piece. Okay, hang on. This always happens. Right, so TV1 News did the story on it and followed up. So today was the court court injunction. I don't know what you call it. It's the court. I want to say it's court hearing, but it's probably not technically correct. But this was for Mariameno to fight her expulsion in trying to get that undone before the AGM, which is coming up, the Te Pāti Māori AGM, which I think is coming up this weekend. And we'll have a look at that. Where does my screen keep going? My screen keeps disappearing.
Oh, look, with this update in StreamYard, I can't do shit. I'd love to do magic trolling like that, but I just can't.
Oh. Well, and I can't... Technology! Oh, there it goes. Okay. Pat's probably watching and going, my high-quality professional show is falling apart. Why did I let that person do this? All right, let's go.
From Te Pāti Māori's infighting reached the High Court today, where Mariameno Kapa-Kingi is challenging her expulsion from the party. The Te Tai Taikaro MP wants a temporary court order to allow her back into the party and its president, John Tamihere, removed. Political editor Mikey Sherman reports.
Mariameno Kapa-Kingi walking from Parliament to the High Court.
My primary goal is reinstatement. That's the thing. If that occurs, that'll then put us back on track.
She wants back in with Te Pāti Māori.
It would set a dreadful precedent if a political party could not follow its constitution, make a clearly unlawful decision, and then turn around and seek to oppose interim relief on the basis that, we don't want her back.
Inserting her back into a disharmonious and difficult and fractured environment will cause the distress and tensions that result from that with very little upside.
The expulsion centred on claims the MP misused party money for personal gain due to a projected budget overspend.
It is red rag to a bull to certain media and political opponents for a party like this to be accused of mismanaging money.
Kapa-Kingi's lawyer argued it wasn't party money, it was her parliamentary budget, with the co-leader Debbie Ngarewa-Packer signing it off.
So the party specifically agreed and approved with the Speaker this course of action to correct a projected overspend. The party then says, in fact, Ms Kapa-Kingi, you've misused party funds for personal benefit.
The validity of Kapa-Kingi's expulsion saw both sides debating over who had the power to make that decision under the Constitution.
Now, there, of course, is no evidence whatsoever of a disciplinary and disputes committee being established, let alone dealing with the complaints that are alleged against Ms Kapa-Kingi.
The spoiler alert is that there is a power in 3.6. The National Council may cancel any membership that the Council believes does not meet the criteria outlined in Clause 3.1.
It was argued the MP and her son also brought the party into disrepute.
He was saying more serious things, but she was, on the respondent's case, not rejecting it, not distancing herself from it and saying there's time for change.
That comment made to One News.
It's time for change is what I see, Mikey.
So you essentially kicked her out of the party because she spoke to the media?
Oh, no, well, the judge will determine if we did that right, but if effectively there was a breach of the Constitution.
Kapa-Kingi seeking in court to declare President John Tamihere's role is unlawful.
I think we're ready for a new leadership, actually, at that executive and that council level. I think we're ready for it.
Plenty more water to go under the bridge yet.
So I haven't been following it as closely. I've kind of just had drips and drabs in what you guys have talked about. That was actually kind of nice to have that piece be not unbiased in a way, but just kind of like stepping out a little bit and looking at the two lawyers kind of fighting the case from a different perspective. Because I think to this point now we've had he said, she said, this person's perspective, this person's doing a media interview, this person's standing up, and it's kind of been like, I don't know whose side I want to take, whereas this is like of pulled it back a little bit more, and it's like, this was a constitutional issue, this was this doesn't look good for the party, this is being weaponized. Like I actually really appreciated the story for just being like telling the facts a little bit. Like obviously there's still bias in it, but what do you think?
I was actually talking about talking to Magenta about this afternoon, as my opinion on this story has oscillated wildly according to what piece of evidence comes out and what piece of news comes out. I have strong opinions both for and against a lot of the major players in this, so it's been really difficult to just form a coherent position. So having that sort of summary there is like, it is quite helpful. Look, I'm of the opinion that everybody involved in this has done something wrong, and everybody in this has handled it dreadfully, and I just want them to clear it and move on. But I can't see it happening in a way without, having a major character take a bow. And I think if I had to say someone, John Tamihere's got to go. He's got to go. He seems to be a major antagonistic part of this. I said earlier in the week the fact that Debbie and Rawiri didn't go to the Hui the other weekend was just such a missed opportunity, and that seems to me very much part of how John Tamihere would play this. I mean, I could be wrong, I'm not in the room, but that's what this man thinks.
The next wee bit is Mikey explaining what is going to come next from all of this.
No, Mikey, when can we expect the result of today's court hearing?
It's a court hearing.
Well, the judge in this case says that tomorrow at 4 p.m. he will release an interim decision. Now, that's essentially over whether or not he will reinstate for a time the party membership of Mariameno Kapa-Kingi. And that's because the MP wants to attend the Te Pāti Māori AGM, which is taking place this Sunday in Rotorua. Now, the party says as a non-member she cannot attend that AGM, but they did say today that they offered that she could attend the pōwhiri. That, of course, is the domain of the local hapu, the local marae, and that pōwhiri would essentially take around 2 hours' time, and everybody gets a chance to have a kōrero there. But through her lawyer, Mariameno Kapa-Kingi said she found that offer insulting. Now, a more substantive hearing in the High Court, that will be set down for Monday, the 2nd of February. That'll go over all of the issues that were covered today. Now, that, of course, is Waitangi Week. So that court case, it will be the pre-show to the main show later at Waitangi later in the week, and of course it's going to be a fiery week of Māori politics, so buckle up.
Yeah, that's so it's scheduled possibly for Waitangi Week, which that's going to be a very fiery week indeed, because something I've come to learn about Waitangi Day is there's all the niceties, but it's actually an opportunity for people to have their say. And it's actually not a government politics, but it's a political kind of space, which I think is, could be interesting.
That I think is that's the worst possible outcome. Okay, and this is why I was gutted about how this whole thing has played out, and I think the lost energy and lost momentum if we draw a straight line from the Tutu Hikoi to how that flowed, that energy flowed into Te Pāti Māori, it's gone now. It's just poof, it's hit a brick wall. It's dissipated. If this hadn't happened, for however it's gone wrong, whoever's to blame, if it hadn't happened, can you imagine Te Pāti Māori coming into Waitangi Week with that energy at their back? Of like, right, this is it. This is the start of election year. This is, here we are, united force with a singular mission to get rid of this government. And we don't have that. And we're not going to have that for Waitangi if they're going to take it to that level. That they're going to spunk all their energy up against the wall in a courtroom. It's gutting.
Yeah, so I guess that kind of wraps it up for well, not necessarily. So obviously we've got the result of that coming out tomorrow, the official result of that, where there will be like an interim membership, which I think would be really sad to have 2 years, well, I mean, like the last year as part of the party, and then not be able to go to the AGM if you possibly are in the party in the future. I think that's... Even if you attend as sort of a fly on the wall, I think like even that should be allowed, but maybe not participation for, I don't know. I think it would be, I think she's probably devastated, understandably, because, serving the people is what she signed up for. So yeah, we'll obviously probably hear more from the TPM AGM next week, but as far as this goes, maybe something tomorrow, but probably next year, I guess. Saga might continue.
Yeah, I can't see there being a solution tomorrow.
Yeah, no, for sure. Right, we've got some super chats to go through. Such as Citizen Gold, $10. Says 380 days. Woo! Not long to go.
Oh God, faster, please.
yes, please.
Fast forward button.
Peter says, I hear Winamp whips the llama's ass.
Oh, I have such fond memories of Winamp.
Oh, Winamp. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Winamp was such a devastatingly simple piece of equipment, but I ran my radio station through Winamp. I think we hit so many limits in it. It was great.
Right, we also have Middle Earth. I was going to say Middle Earth Marxist says PM playlist brought to you by Atlas Basement Dorks. The Chewie Burb says, I mandate everyone learns an instrument in 2026. Agreed.
I'm with you. Mine's the megaphone.
I can imagine you learnt the what is it, the harmonica? The harmonica.
No. All of my friends in high school. No, nothing. Not a thing.
Aww.
All of my friends in high school were fantastic musicians. They drumming, guitaring, bass, the whole works. And my whole joke was the instrument that I play is the stereo. Click. That's why I got into radio. Talentless.
Nice. Also from Cuba, John Tamihere is an energy vampire. Changed my mind. Mm-hmm. Seems to be definitely the person at the middle of all of this. The Chewie foo-foo phone. I love that.
Foo-foo phone. Foo-foo phone.
What were we going to say?
I was just saying, just as far as Te Pāti Māori goes, the other thing I had a thought when I was talking to Magenta this afternoon is that there is a silver lining. It removes the talking point that Luxon has of you can't trust a three-headed government, Te Pāti Māori aren't ready for it, all of this other stuff, it's gone now. So they will now have to pivot to their two other talking points, that the Greens are crazy and that Christopher Hipkins is going to tax every waking moment of your life and possibly even your dreams. That seems to be their only angle.
Yeah.
So at least there's one less.
Right. Well, some exciting things happened today. I heard somebody made a trip to Parliament with potentially a cookie. Is that am I correct?
I
is
don't
that what
know.
you heard?
I don't know. I wonder. God, you didn't tell me about this, so I don't know if I can get a correspondent. Don't have anything Magenta. Magenta, come and tell your story. Story time.
So
Story time with
yelling
Magenta.
at your sister to come. Magenta, Magenta's ready.
I told you I would summon you. Look, it's Magenta here.
It's me. I'm a Mario.
Oh my god.
We're going to swap out now.
Oh my god.
I'm Chewie.
Oh.
There you
wow.
go.
Oh wow.
Wow. Where'd you come from?
This magic. I appear.
Wow.
I came from the. I was watching Chewie on his own TV. That was weird.
I wonder if that's what his wife does as well.
Nah, she's got better things to do.
Before you made your way to Dunedin,
Yes.
what was there a task you had to complete?
Yes, there was actually. I obviously we all saw the beautiful cookie that Pat bought, and it didn't turn. Okay, so first of all, I was supposed to get it on Wednesday. The courier logged it as on his van at 8:45 in the morning. I did not get delivered it until 6:30 p.m. at night. So
Oh wow.
that already kind of threw us off. But then obviously on the way to the airport, I didn't know where to go, so I went to the normal place you normally go, and I was like, "Hey," they're like, "What are you here for?" I was like, "Oh, I was hoping to deliver some treats to David Seymour." They're like, "Oh, we can't take any deliveries in this end, so you're gonna have to like go around and go down the back part." I was like, "Oh, okay, sweet." He's like, "I'll let them know you're coming." And then I was like, "Okay, cool." And then I was kind of walking and I was getting a little lost because I was like, I don't know where the fuck I'm going. And then the security guy actually came out and grabbed me and like walked me back in. It reminded me of when I used to go visit my uncle in prison, to be honest, because it's basically just like a prison security spot, like where they have, a bunch of lockers and stuff. And went in and was like, "Hi, I've got some treats for David Seymour in his office." And she's like, "Oh, yeah, no, sweet." And I had to give my details. So I really signed Pat's joke with my literal cell phone number. So
Would you like me to play the moment that you signed your life away? Because
sure. I have no idea what the audio sounds like.
Oh, it's fine. It'll be fine. Who did you sign in with? Was it just parliamentary services of sorts, or was it like...
Yeah, so it was a parliament security, well, they had the security guard things on, but yeah, they have their own little, security courier place where all deliveries have to go through.
Okay.
Which I guess makes sense when you think about it from like safety and logistics.
Well, I mean, it might have meant that it actually got through. So as opposed to hearing or seeing you and going, "Oh, I know this person."
Yeah.
All right. Well, that would probably explain why the person was so nice. Do you want me to play the video, or just want to?
Oh, if you want to. I haven't actually watched it back. I've been so busy today. I just sent it to Pat while I was on the way to the airport, and then I got picked up by Chewie, and I've been hanging out with him ever since.
Nice. Well, you pretty much explained all there is to know. He's just a very, very lovely person. Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. And I mean, because they accidentally sent us 4 cookies, I got a cookie. and Avery got a cookie, and David and the staff got 2 cookies. So look at that. Merry Christmas.
Oh, nice. Look at
Yeah.
you. Christmas elf
Right.
going and delivering the goods.
Cookie Monster, but make it Santa was basically where I kind of felt like today. But yeah, it was fun. And I saw a comment about anxiety. Don't worry, I was shitting myself internally the whole time. I was like, am I going to get in trouble with the government? I still could. Who knows? He might get
No.
mad. I think people want to see the video, so you might as well just check it up if you want. There's
All
not
right.
a lot of visuals. Fano. I couldn't exactly go in there with my phone like, TikTok and influencer style.
It's true. It's true. I'll chuck you on. We'll have a watch as the moment happens.
Rhoda, I just wanted to drop these off to David Seymour's office. Can I get a name? Yeah, of course.
She likes following the details.
Yeah, no worries.
And are you dropping them off as an individual, or are you dropping them off on behalf of someone?
On behalf of someone.
Oh, can I have that name?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I had to give them Pat's name.
And just the contact number, and you're good to go. I'm sure he'll appreciate
And
it.
yes, it was my governance
They
name.
are good cookies.
Yeah, no, I've definitely ordered them before online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. And I mean, this time of year you can kind of justify it at least.
Oh, of course you can.
Would you want his detail number as well, or just my number? Fine.
Just your number.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas too.
Yep. She knows about the cookies.
All right, well, delivery sent. Hopefully he'll get them, and I might get a call back. Who knows?
Security asking a few questions, perhaps.
Yes. We'll see how it goes when I try to attend question time next year.
Yes. Well, that sounds like fun. Are you
Yeah.
Are you making the most of your time in Dunners?
I mean, honestly, I just got here and we've just been chilling. You know what it's like when you have to travel. It's already so stressful by the time you get to the airport. But I'm looking forward to maybe getting a chance to have a look at a little bit of things in town before tomorrow's meetup and big event. So it's going to be so good.
Yep, looking forward to it.
Anyway, I shall let you have your usual scheduled Chewie back.
Oh my God.
He came out from behind me. Yeah, no, he's been there the whole time.
I've been here
Surprise,
the
Manu.
whole time. We just need to give you a suit and some glasses. And nothing was changed.
Hello.
Wunderbar. Hello.
I have
Well,
returned.
you have returned. The David Seymour of it all is going to continue. The next story I want to continue on the train. One of the things that came through my headline check earlier today, which actually RNZ changed the headline of the article because the article headline that I read was something like "Give it up, jerk," says Labour MP to Seymour, and I was like, I gotta have a look at this. And apparently there was an exchange between Willow Jean Prime and David Seymour during Scrutiny Week, during the Education and Workforce Committee. Stream is not correct. Hearing? It's also a hearing. There you go. And when I read it in text, the exchange between the two of them, it sounded like it was a very fiery discussion, and David Seymour was being his smarmy self and hitting back with things that are very just dick things to say. But then I actually went and watched the video, and I went, his response is really overblown to the question and the way it was asked. So I'll go through a wee bit of it, and you guys can laugh at it with me. To set the scene, I'll let David set the scene for himself. You'll love this, Chewie, because you'll love it. Trust me. So it's Erica Stanford's just had her time on the stage, and now it's finally time for Seymour to have the associate minister to have his say about things.
Well, look.
Good evening, Minister. We've got just under half an hour with you this evening, including some introductory remarks. I'll hand straight over to you.
Well, I've tried not to take any offence that you used up some of my time questioning Erica, but look, first of all, thank you very much for having me here. I'm here to talk about the delegations that I have in the education space.
He's so proud of his achievements. Are you ready? You want to look?
God, he's insufferable straight out of the jump. Jesus.
I know. He's the associate minister, just remember. But let him, he has got delegations, let him speak.
That is healthy school lunch program, attendance, charter schools, early childhood education, integrated schools and independent schools. Starting with the healthy school lunch program.
And then he toots his own horn about, his healthy school lunch program, which he then gets questioned about by Willow Jean Prime, who asks a very reasonable question. So this is about, the issues that we've had, the plastic, the worms, didn't even mention, but the mold, which is most recent, underheated, overheated, plastic, serving up non-halal. That's probably one that hurts the most for me because I think it's so disrespectful. The non-halal meals to halal students. That's next level inconsiderate, to put it probably politely. And so Willow Jean Barham's going to ask the question and David Seymour is going to give a honest and reasonable answer because that's what he does. Right? That's what he does. He's always...
Every time.
Every time? I need to go back a wee bit. There we go. I love the Parliament's website. Their video player is just the best to use.
Reducing debt on the next generation who we're doing this for, and yet deliver the same quality which we have.
Okay, start from Willow Jean.
No.
Thank you. At what point, after a child has been burnt, another has bitten into plastic, bugs have been served up in lunches, will you concede that this program has been a flop?
About the same time as you get an Oscar for that performance.
What?
Supplementary.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
So when I read that in text...
What? He was rehearsing that in his office.
Yes. Oh, yeah, he knew exactly what
I'm going to hit her with this. I'm going to hit her with this zinger straight out of the gates. That'll make me the winner. What the hell?
So when I read that in text, I went, sure, that's a fiery question, right? I was expecting Chloe Seymour level of passion and fire and asking it like, when are you going to take accountability? That was just a question. There was nothing. It was just a question. Like, she would not get an Academy Award for that. Like, she's just asking a question.
What a
So I don't know where this is coming from. It's just...
Look at his little face there. He's so pleased with this.
I know. It's disgusting. All right.
Oh, he's so
but
smug.
Unfortunately, you might have to continue
There's more
with it. Yeah, unfortunately.
Instead of bullying those who speak up about the school lunches, why won't you allow anybody who is not happy with the school lunches provided by the School Lunch Collective to leave the contract?
Well, it's very simple. We deliver free meals paid for by the taxpayer. That is a very good deal. And as for your accusations of bullying, I mean, this is supposed to be an exercise in evaluating value for taxpayer money. If you're looking for another...
An exercise. He's showing very clearly that he is not value for taxpayer money. Seriously.
I think he's also completely missed the point. He thinks that she's saying that he's bullying her. She's making reference to him bullying the principal that brought this up.
Yep. She does. I think she does clarify that. I'll continue this wee bit.
Career as an actor, then I don't like your chances.
Wait, hang on. All right, so this is where Phil Twyford comes in. And I wish we had more of this in Parliament, because honestly, it puts him in his place. It's just so nice to hear sometimes.
If you're looking for another career as an actor, then I don't like your chances.
Do you think it's appropriate? Do you think your behaviour has been appropriate?
I absolutely do.
Pull this back in. Let's just lift it.
Yeah.
He is so smarmy, smug. You can see it on his face. He thinks he's the funniest fucking thing. And yeah.
There is one phrase that springs to mind here. Jacinda was right about him.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's the first thing that came to my head when I heard that. I was just, what was it again? What was the quote? I can't remember. Something about
insufferable
twat.
prick or something like that.
Prick. No, I was thinking it might have been the C word, but prick is probably still quite polite, isn't it?
Oh, God. He's so pleased with himself.
Apparently it continues. There is more, according to my timestamp. It keeps going.
Ask the question, get an answer, but the point is well made. If you want a serious answer, ask a serious question.
It is a serious question. The way the Deputy Prime Minister has been bullying a principal who was simply speaking up on behalf of her school after they had an issue, I think is unprofessional by this minister. That school has asked to leave this program before, and that has not been allowed.
Well, I flatly reject the accusation.
Right. So I'm going to move on to from
Absolutely.
Parmjit.
Thank you. So, Minister, just before you, not just before you, we had another minister before. When we were talking to Ministry of Education,
yeah. So that's how it started. Well, that's not that was halfway through. Sorry. Was it this wee bit? No, it's not this wee bit. Okay, so the next question was asked by Lawrence Zhu, is it, from the Greens? So they're also in the room. I think also next to him is Hannah, I think, as well. And again, he's just taking pot shots and being an absolute twat towards him. This player is awful. Also like a really, really, really long clip. And now I can't find my spot. But yeah, the schmarminess does continue. But at the end of this, no, wait, no, hang on. Oh no, there's more. There's more of the Willow Jean Prime. Okay, hang on. Willow Jean Prime's got more. I think it's the end of this. Yes, at the end of this, you'll see the camera swing to the next person. I just want you to look at the faces of two national MPs. By the way, guys, these are two national MPs. I want you just to look at their faces for a second and tell me what you think they're thinking based on what Seymour has just said in response to this. I think the question was about safeguards. So it was about the Bangers, that whole trust, Bangers Charter School. Yeah. And she was asking what safeguards are now in place to prevent that from happening again.
How do you expect the agency to assess and ensure the safety and suitability of both those who apply to be charter schools and those who are working with and for those organisations taking up the bids?
Well, diligently, and yet, as you've just said yourself, a person who was associated but not actually part of the application.
Not part of the trust.
If you're suggesting that we're going to screen people who apply for government contracts based on anyone they've ever been associated with, well, that's clearly not viable.
So no safeguards.
Thank you.
I think anyone watching this can see there's a bit of a difference between understanding whether or not you can screen every person an applicant's ever been associated with and having no safeguards whatsoever.
Great.
I think this might get a Grammy.
Now, Minister, can you tell us if there is any involvement of your office?
Also, a Grammy is a music award. So doesn't even know what he's talking about.
I am actually just a little bit worried for David Seymour based on this. We just delivered him 2 very large cookies, and on seeing this, I am now questioning David Seymour's ability to just complete everyday functions successfully, like eating, taking a bite of a cookie, chewing it and swallowing it successfully without like aspirating it. I mean, I'm not going to complain if that's the thing, that he completely fails to eat a cookie. But this is just, it's really clear that the guy thinks he's funny and charismatic, and he's not. Like, honestly, David, if you think you're funny, there are open mic nights in Wellington and Auckland that you can go to try this material and get an honest reaction and feedback from a live audience. This, you're talking about value for the taxpayer, as you said, Emily, like, it's just such a bullshit tactic to try and get someone pissed off so he doesn't have to answer any questions about what he fucking does and what he's responsible for. What a devious, slimy little toad.
Well, I particularly loved this moment when it swings to Vanessa and Grant. I'll play it a little again.
In the application.
Because
Minister, can you tell us?
No safeguards whatsoever.
These, reactions.
I think this might get a Grammy.
Minister, can you tell us if there is any involvement of your office in the application process? Is it?
I don't know if you caught it, but Vanessa Wiedeck basically just went, what the fuck is this idiot saying? That's just me inferring, but that was the reaction of someone who just went...
No, I would pick that up as well. That's how I read it.
And Grant McCallum also raised the eyebrow, which I think is very telling. Yeah, fun times in that place. I'm sure.
Hat tip to Twyford for calling this out as well. It's absolute nonsense. As Nigel in a comment said, Seymour's trying Trump tactics and failing miserably. Scrutiny Week is supposed to be serious, not a fucking clown show. And it's really clear that this is what he's turned it. It's a tactic. It's a tactic to avoid having to answer a series of questions. If he can just burn up some time on some nonsense, maybe get under someone else's skin. Mission accomplished.
Yeah. He does. So this is the very last one. So this is where I was talking about Lawrence Shue coming in, questioning about the charter schools and specifically around the curriculum and then whether or not it's actually valid to be doing it when we've got a very flexible curriculum at the moment that sort of fixes what, charter schools are essentially there to do. And again, I don't need to tell you. You just watch it.
Oh,
it's not good.
Thanks, Chair. Just going back to the charter school question that I had before. If what we're seeing is that the minister's doing a good job, but then charter school is also doing a good job, and they're completely different curriculum. Which one is right then?
Well, here's the thing. The Green Party used to believe in diversity. And sometimes different people have different needs and they can both be happy together.
You just can't do that.
But then the question is, don't we have enough diversity already in terms of the flexibility? So,
I think that should be up to the parents and the students, and they should choose. And I hope that there'll be an educational opportunity that best fits every student, so they can each reach their potential in this beautiful country.
Okay, I think that's a good place to leave it. Let's move
Thank you
into
very much.
private. Thank you, Minister. Thank you to all the advisors.
So
what was the point of
why?
What have we learned?
The point there was to
David
rise them up.
Seymour's
And honestly, Lawrence did a really good job of actually just like being very professional in that moment, and just saying just asking the next logical question and asking it in such a polite way when he was clearly trying to rile them up and just being a dick. But David Seymour actually makes a really good point. Just hold me out, okay? he does make a really good point in which every child should have access to a diverse education that fits their needs, and parents should be able to, not allow their kids, but to help the kids achieve that, or to be able to have those choices to put their kids into. But the issue is that he's allowing those choices in a different market, in a charter school market, not the state school system. So you're essentially blocking out kids who, if it's paid for, you can't access the education unless you can pay for it. So then we've got more private education, which is perhaps, I don't know, top dollar stuff, and maybe they have the best curriculums and the best flexibility for kids with certain needs, only if you can afford it. So I think, and the money's going that way, right? I would prefer that money went into the public system so every kid, regardless of their financial situations, can have access to that flexible, diverse, different education that may suit their needs better.
Yeah.
Agreed?
Yeah,
Disagree?
100%.
Agreed? Thoughts?
Yep.
So he's right and he's wrong. He's got the right idea, he's just got the wrong application. And I wonder why. Maybe it's because it's what underpins his idea is what leads to the outcomes, as opposed to what underpins other people, such as what I just said. I love the idea, but I love the idea so it's access for everyone. He loves the idea so that people can pay for it and get what they want.
This has always been his thing as well. Like ACT and David Seymour have a habit of co-opting things that sound good. You know, freedom, diversity, individual choice, all of that sort of thing. But it's never straightforward on its face value. The moment you scratch it, you're like, oh, okay, no, not at all. This is removing something from people that don't have enough. This is coming down on people we should be helping. It's this weird survival of the fittest idea that these pseudo-libertarians seem to cling to. And it's always, well, the people that are most deserving will always be at the top. They're at the top now and they should stay at the top. And we should keep the people that are not at the top further away from them as they are now. Utterly reject his worldview, how he thinks should be, and what he wants to do to New Zealand. Absolutely not. In the strongest possible terms, I reject it.
It's definitely the idea of the grading curve, right? Someone has to be on the bottom, someone has to be at the top, and someone has to be in the middle. But if you set the criteria and everyone gets excellence, A++, whatever the fuck Stanford wants to be now. If everyone gets the top mark, not everyone can get the top mark. So actually the criteria in which you maybe 30% of people met, because that was the criteria that was set before the exam, you guys all met that criteria, but actually we can't give out that many excellences or A++. So in order to meet that percentage mark, all of these people who are like a smidgen, weren't as good or whatever, get dropped down. And I think it's a stupid fucking system. If someone met the criteria in which you set out, then they should get the mark awarded. It shouldn't just be like, well, now we've got to find the fringes in which you may, and then we've changed the criteria so that there's only 10% of people that get A's. I think it's just, it's dumb.
I think
doesn't achieve anything.
I think the thing that offends me the most about these guys as well is when they look at like their individualistic worldview. Is that yes, there have always been exceptional people. Yes, there have always been people that have gone in a different direction from, say, the accepted truths of the time. That this is the way that we do stuff. And that sort of stuff should be celebrated. But the vast majority of human advancement has been done through cooperation. It's been people having a leader that builds a movement behind them that everybody benefits from. Like this idea that every person is an island that can never accept help from anybody else. And that we should never help anybody else because they're weak for a reason. leave them behind, don't let them slow you down, is just, it's an outright rejection of what humanity is. I think that's why it just gives me the ick that it does. Like, I remember the first time I heard about libertarianism, I think I was at 18, and it sounded great because you're fucking 18 and your brain doesn't work yet. And then I got over it. And David's still there. I don't know if he truly believes he's a libertarian. I don't think he is. I think he's all about the money-making potential of property rights. That's it. Nothing else matters.
Yeah.
And that's who we put in charge of school lunches. Good job.
Yeah. I think on all of those examples, you could see that someone who just wants to be seen as cool and above it all, and doesn't have to answer to Willow Jean Prime or Lawrence Yu, who are not the Deputy Prime Minister or the associate, not even the Minister, the Associate Minister of Education. Like, it just comes across as, I'm in an 8% party, but I'm the Deputy Prime Minister. Suck it. It's just like, go fuck yourself. You're a public servant. Like, your job is to serve us. And guess what? We could also vote you out. Better fucking vote him out.
God willing. That better be what we're doing. Oh, is that what we're doing, chat? Like, I remember, like, just talking about, like, voting these guys out, right? I'm very aware that I am in an echo chamber of my own creation. And I think we are all in an echo chamber for our own sanity at times. I think it's really, really hard to tell where people's minds really are unless you're actually having conversations with people in your lives, people that you interact with in the real meat world and off social media. Because I think on social media, we all know what dead internet theory is. We all know that there's rooms full of phones creating division and bot armies everywhere. You can't trust conversations on social media to do what we need to do. You need to have the conversations in real life. But the concerning conversation I saw in Discord was someone that is doing this hard work in their community, actually talking to people, and they are striking people that aren't going to vote. And I think the most concerning one that I saw was that person's opinion was that, at least in their community, a large proportion of men between 18 and 30 aren't going to vote or don't feel that they should vote. And that's concerning. And there's a grab bag of reasons why. And I don't think you can start a conversation by going, well, who's your favorite political party? I think it's more of a conversation of what's important to you. What's important to you in your community? Because it will be different. Maybe people don't want to vote because they don't see how the government affects them. But at the same time, politics touches every part of someone's life. Maybe it's just a conversation that we've got to have with people and know the policies that are going to make a difference in somebody else's life. And I know it's real easy to have huge fucking arguments on social media and stuff. And hell, it can be an entertaining way to spend a day. I'm sure plenty of people who have seen me interacting with national social media posts over the past couple of weeks, I will not let them go. But it's not going to change the outcome of the election unless we get through to those people that are clocked out, that don't see anything worthy of their time. Just something to think on.
Yeah, and we've already seen an example of that in the US. People who are politically active, who have really strong views about Palestine and Israel and what the Democrats weren't doing, and their messaging around it, and people that probably were Democrats and were very politically active decided just not to vote. And now that's what what has happened. It's a weird one because I kind of go, it's their fault they're in that situation, but at the same time I also go, I get it. I get why you didn't. And actually, it's hurting now, but maybe this is what will rebrand and rebuild a better party. It's just a shame that you kind of have to go through a shitstorm of hurt for a lot of people in order to get to that point. And it's still an unknown of and maybe I have a feeling, I'm hoping not, but maybe that's the same feeling I have about perhaps the Labour Party, who are also that kind of weird centrist party at the moment that are not stating their position well enough. It's still early days though, and they're not the party for us. They're still early days. They're not the party for us. Most people who are going to vote Labour are not going to pay attention until about 2 months before the election. So I'd much rather they had their fumbles and they figured that out, and then 2 months before they've got the best strategy they possibly can, because people just don't pay attention. Regular people do not pay attention. They go, I've seen a few clips of that guy. He's all right. I've seen a few things. They look at the debates once they go on TV. They go, oh yeah, no, I like that answer. That's pretty good. And that's how they make the decision.
I think that is something that is a hard pill to swallow for, I think, myself personally, and I think a lot of people that watch BHN. We are the very pointy bit of the spear, the guys and gals that want to dip into this literally every night of the week to such an insane degree, and then we go out and we look
a year.
You would
18,000. 18,000
minutes.
18,000 minutes. Sorry. You know what I mean?
And then go out and look at the general public and sort of go, why can't you see what I can see? And sometimes when you're this deep in it and you go and do that, you look like a crazy person and you sound like a crazy person. You're not crazy.
Anyone who's ever talked to a normie about the Atlas Network. See?
Right, yes.
See?
Yeah, yeah.
See? Look at the
Can
lines.
you not see the links? But look, I forget who said it, but it is a comment that has stuck with me in the chat, that the curse of being on the left is that you're right, but way too early. I think is also a thing. We see it because we're paying attention to it, and then it happens, and then we go, see, I told you so. But we haven't told the people that we need to tell. And we haven't done it in a way that brings people with us.
Yeah.
And bringing people with us seems slow. But that's what we have to build. If we're serious about doing this, if we're serious about adding to BHN's list of achievements, our podcast awards, and we want to make our own award that is, we helped topple the government. If we want that one, we need to be serious about this and actually fucking do something about it and have these conversations with people. Start with people that you know, that you know, just softly, you know, what do you think about what's going on? Have you seen this news story? You know, are you aware of what party X wants to do? Have those lunchtime conversations. And then, as we get closer to the election, you can become more and more insufferable. But you don't want to start insufferable. You want to warm up to it.
Yes. Fun times ahead. 2026 is going to be an interesting year, and I think
it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yes, I think for us Hearies, us political tragics, it's been a long 2 years, but that's because we're lost in the sauce, and the next year is where it really matters. I guess to the rest. Yeah, lost in the sauce. Have you ever heard that?
No, I have. I just wasn't expecting it in this context. I'm happy to see.
I quite often say we're lost in the sauce. Lost in the weeds, lost in the sauce. Right, we got some super chats to go through.
Go.
Lytton said when Magenta and I were on screen, is it a Friday all of a sudden? It's Chewie's Friday.
Very briefly.
So, not wrong. Kiwiburb, when the right wing gets mad, they assault people. When the left wing gets mad, we deliver passive-aggressive cookies. Oh, it's true. We do. We're very, yeah, passive-aggressive is the way. Kai Matara says this is ironic from a guy whose first job was in acting. That's what I was thinking. He's just projecting. As a young Sir Ed Hillary on the docudrama A View from the Top, and his party is literally funny. See the connections, look, they all connect. Mr. Arvids, he doesn't think he's funny, he's just a reactionary. He's a deflector, a con man, and a performer for his hateful tiny base. A drop nuts coward. Damn. James Black says David Seymour is the Ayn Rand? Or Ayn Rand of Ayn Rand?
Yeah,
Ayn Rand.
Yeah.
Can you give context?
Oh, do you not know about Ayn Rand?
I know the name, but it's not top of my knowledge base. Sorry.
Author and like if anybody has, they wrote the book Atlas Shrugged, which is you would have played the game BioShock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is very heavily influenced by Atlas Shrugged. And it's a terrible book, but it's basically almost a fictionalized manifesto of what being a libertarian is all about. It's a dreadful book. But yeah, and Ayn Rand is the author of it. Blah. Blah.
There you go. The more you know. The more you know. Speaking of bleh, more pieces, more journalism, more and more as it piles on, the papers are stacking, criticizing and questioning what's happening with National, and just pointing at things that are happening. There was a piece by Sam Smith on Stuff today, talking about specifically kind of mentioning how the two Chris's, Chris Bishop and Chris Luxon, have differing opinions about the housing market and what should happen. This has come up a few times a wee while ago, but they've kind of put it in a piece where it also mentions they're definitely hinting that perhaps National are not hitting their voter base, or they might need to change their voter base, or maybe change who they're aiming towards. As we know, the millennials and the Gen Zers are coming into politics, and they're getting more and more left-leaning as opposed to traditionally right-leaning as you get older. Because unlike our parents, who probably were more conservative as they aged, and our grandparents, it's because things were good and they didn't want anything to change. Us who are moving up the ages, things are shit. And so everything needs to change.
I saw an interesting theory on this, because it's always been stated as a truism that you get more conservative as you age. It's not to do with age. It's about how many assets you have.
Oh.
Yeah, and this rings true, right? You get more conservative when you own more stuff. Like your house, you can't risk as much.
Yeah,
right?
less risky.
You've got yours, so lock it all down. But our generations are the first ones that have struck. As we get older, we don't own a lot of stuff. We're still renting. That sort of thing. And that's what's changing it. So these guys have stacked the deck so much that they're fucking their own system over.
Yeah, I suppose.
And I'm here for it.
The risk of, well, not gambling, but the, shares, assets and all that, those are risks, right? And then, like, for example, a great analogy, or not even analogy, example is your KiwiSaver, right? So when you put your KiwiSaver in, you should not have a KiwiSaver. Everyone should have a KiwiSaver. It's ideal, if you can. But you should choose the settings on your KiwiSaver, because they actually do have an impact depending on which one you choose. But if you're younger and you're looking to buy a house, you don't want to be in a high risk investment, which you can have big highs and big lows. You want to be in a conservative or moderate fund, right? Because you want to not see massive losses before you're about to buy a house, and you could lose 2 to 3 to 4 to 5,000 depending on how much is in there, which could fuck you over. But if you're an old person and you're not going to see that money for another 30, 40 years, then you want it to be in a high growth fund, because over 30, 40 years, those big swings are not going to make a huge difference because numbers still just going to go up. So it's the same thing, I guess. But our risks when we're younger, because we're not talking about monetary assets, our risks are very different. Our risks are, do I stay in this job or do I leave this job? Can I afford to leave this job? Should I negotiate or fight my landlord? Because that could leave me homeless. Or do I shut up, put up, and just take the $700 a week that I have to pay for this property? Like, those are very different and very different insecurities versus what our parents and grandparents are looking at.
Yep. Like, all I can say is look at what the reaction is to, say, Labor's capital gains tax, right? See who's freaking out and see who's going, do more. And it's a generational difference, because I don't care about the capital gains tax. I own one house. Do you care about the capital gains tax, Emily? Is it going to dramatically fuck up your portfolio?
I don't own a house.
There we go. Right. So we don't care.
I'm back there.
But if you look at national social media, you look at what they're putting out on Facebook and Instagram and all of those sort of things. This is it. End of days policy. You know, and it's just a start. And that's who they're talking to. They're not talking to us. Or if they are talking to us, they're lying to us. You know, and I think...
Well, they are talking to us, the general broader us, because unfortunately as Kiwis, especially sort of sorry, your generation perhaps up, there are a lot of people sorry, there are a lot of people who actually, no, I think it's Generation Y. I think it's all generations. Everyone has that innate feeling of like, one day I'll make it, and that one day I'll make it, I might have an investment property, and one day I'll make it and I have an investment property, then I have to pay the capital gains tax. And it's like, dude, you're still in your mother's basement, and you can't you can't even earn $500 a week or more, and you're not leaving the situation anytime. Capital gains tax, even if you buy a home, not going to affect you anytime soon.
Congrats on being able to buy a second home. Congrats on selling it at a good price and making some money. You're still making money. You're making it income, just like a normal person gets an income and pays tax on that income. That's the thing, you know. And I think everybody that is freaking out about it can get fucked. I want to be successful. I want to have money in my retirement and not be beholden to a meager whatever's left of superannuation when I get there. Don't worry about superannuation, Emily. It won't exist by the time you get to it.
Oh no, I'll be dead.
You'll be dead because of the climate. Yep. Sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I don't need to think that far ahead.
This is the thing. I don't think it's age that makes people more conservative. It's status. It's how much you have to protect and how sorted you are. And each generation has got less and less sorted. And good for you if you're successful. I personally couldn't be successful and look back at the pile of people that I've had to climb over to get there. So I think, you know, if you're expecting me to get more conservative as I get older, that is not going to happen. If anything, I've become more radicalized by paying more attention to what's going on.
because you have a justice meter. Someone, you have a conscience. Someone did mention that that's why young people just sports bet or invest in crypto. They don't expect anything. I agree. There was a big thing that came out where Gen Z are just like spending up on their credit cards. This is America based, to be fair, but spending up on their credit cards, putting on huge amounts of debt, and just kind of going, fuck it, because like, what else are you supposed to do? I'd much rather live my life and like enjoy it. And, you know, the consequences of what they are, I'm not even looking 5, 10, 20 years ahead. And like, I've been a young person, like I can totally understand that mentality when you feel like, I'll never own a home. Why bother putting into KiwiSaver? Why bother? Like, I want to spend this money and go overseas, like live in the moment. And that's just that feeling of feeling stuck and hopeless. Anyways, this was supposed to be a story about how National Party are out of touch. So
let's find out how much.
Do you wanna find out how much?
Is it a lot?
This. Well, Chris Luxon. I don't know when this was actually recorded, because this was mentioned a wee while ago. But here's him responding to. Yeah, but Chris Bishop has a very different idea. What's going on? Why are you guys on the same page?
Well, listening to Chris Bishop was interesting because only a few weeks back, former Prime Minister John Key was saying the exact opposite, and that the country needed to get the housing market rising again, to get people spending, to get things sorted in this country. Who's right?
Well, look, I think you've just got to take a step back and think about where we've been on housing. I mean, we saw a 30% increase in house prices in a single year, right? And that was clearly a very unsustainable bubble. And you're right, since...
During COVID. During COVID, which was an exceptional case. During COVID. Context matters.
Then it varies, as you've highlighted, by region, but you've probably seen about a 13% correction since that early 2022 peak. And so, you know, what we're really focused on is making sure that housing becomes much more affordable. That means you need to have wages growing faster than house prices. We don't want our whole economic growth be driven by speculative house price inflation. We actually want it driven by productive growth. That's why we do things like RMA reform, education reform, trade and infrastructure, all that kind of good stuff. And what we want to see going forward is then modest, consistent house price increases.
But we haven't got that, have we? We haven't got any price increases really at the moment in housing.
Yeah, sorry, we're going through, as I said, a correction because clearly, 30% growth in a year was clearly a very unsustainable kind of bubble. I think everybody understands that, and that's what we've gone through as we've gone through.
Okay, but going forward, do you agree with John Key or Chris Bishop here? Do you agree with John Key that he's saying, no, look, people say they don't want house prices rising because it's not good for their kids, but actually that's not true, he's saying. They actually do want it because that gives them the confidence to go and spend. Is he right?
I think this is exactly what we were just talking about before, of like, when you have an asset, you're conserving your risk, and also you want the asset to keep growing because that's how you're funding your retirement, especially if you have a property or multiple properties. So generally speaking, yes, we do want our house prices to go up to offset what we pay in interest, but there's like a balancing of sorts, right? There's reasonable growth.
This
is
what happened
crazy growth
when you literally stacked the deck and the system. That the only way New Zealanders make money is by buying and selling old houses to each other. Like, that's the measure of our economy, and like, we can't crash the housing market because everybody's put all of their fucking eggs in one basket. What's the saying? We don't have an economy, we have a housing market with other bits tacked onto it, and those other bits are milk solids, and that's it.
Milk and honey.
And so we've put successive governments over decades have acknowledged that this could potentially be a problem, and then have done nothing about it. There should be a natural element of risk if people are investing. You're investing in a new idea, a new product, a new business, stocks and bonds and stuff like that. Is like generally the line goes up, right? You make money. But housing, we have made it that it's the golden calf. We can't possibly have any risk. So therefore, if you have any money, that's the only thing you should put it in. You are literally insane if you take your money and put it into something with more risk if you're wanting to grow your money. So we have manufactured this crisis, this fact that we have made an unproductive economy because everybody's putting it in piles of weatherboard. And then the guys that are making productive parts of our economy are starved for investment and have to go overseas to find it. And it's not something that's exclusive to us. Every other country that followed that same path has the same problem. They have a housing crisis. They have an economy that if they look at solving the housing crisis, that they will ruin their economy and wipe out people's retirement funds. I don't have the answer for it. Whatever the solution is, it's got to be fucking gentle. But I think we need to encourage people to stop hoarding houses when people don't have a house to live in. That just seems to be the case. And I think the benefit to the entire country is if we close that tax loophole, then our inventors and our idea people and our entrepreneurs and the people that have just want to make a small business, which is an actual productive part of the economy that pays people wages and pays the government tax. Now you've seen that news story today, right? Nicola Willis's finances are worse than she thought.
Yeah.
She's short $700 million in tax take because they've crashed the economy.
And Treasury have decided to put the paying off the emission targets, what is it? Tax credit.
Yeah,
what do you call
emission
them?
trading things. Yeah.
They're like, oh, actually, no, we are going to put that into your budget. So now you have to put that in there and consider it as part of your budgeting process.
I've said this multiple times over the past couple of years. Nicola Willis is an economic vandal. I don't think she is so dumb that this is just all accidental. She knew what levers she was pulling, and this is what people benefit. People with money, with liquid assets, benefit when there's this much chaos in the economy. And they get the guys on the wages, they just get fucked on because they don't have the resources to participate in the game that's being played.
Do you want to see? Let's have a quick listen to what Luxon said to Who's Right.
Because it's not good for their kids, but actually that's not true, he's saying. They actually do want it because that gives them the confidence to go and spend. Is he right?
Well, Chris is right in the sense of we want to make sure that we've got productive growth happening in the economy, and how do you get better economic productivity into the New Zealand economy, which has been a problem over 30 years. We can if you don't just want to drive an economy through immigration and house price inflation, we've really got to make sure that we are creating a higher standard of living for people through a more productive economy. And so we want to be able to make sure that going forward that we have modest, consistent house price increases, and you're seeing economic forecasts suggesting that. But equally, we want to make sure that people's wages are growing faster than that house price inflation, because that's ultimately how they get housing more affordable.
Okay.
So close.
Oh dear, that is
It's like,
uninspiring.
It's like, yes, you guys identified it. I think, well, I'll give yourself credit as well. Pat identified it as a long time ago. They identify the problem, they can see all the parts of the problem, and then they have a one-sided view of the solution, and then they stick to it. Like that all of those things were stacking up. We were just talking about it. And then it goes, so house prices need to increase modestly. Not, we need to get people out of investing in homes so that people who can maybe afford to buy their first home have a chance of buying that first home, because they're not going up against people who can buy it outright because they own 100 fucking properties. Like, So close. And then his solution is just so one-sided.
This is why I'm on a silly little podcast rather than interviewing these guys in a studio. Like if I was the host of Q&A, first of all, could you imagine? Second of all, I'd be jumping across that table at that point and going, "You've identified everything. Now what? Now what? Tell us. Do you understand? No? You did wibbly wobbly do and it's all better now." Oh.
The rest of this, I won't go too long because we're at 10. All right, past. Wonderful. The rest of this is quite a good wee article because that's just part one. That's just the way of just sprinkling in this idea that there's some challenges in what people are thinking in the National Party. Continuing that line of thought. So there's an economist. Shamubil. I'm not butchering that name. If anyone has
Shamubil, I have trouble with his last name, but the first name is Shamubil.
Okay. Club is what I'm thinking, but I thought I might butcher it. This is a great wee quote from him. "It doesn't matter if you're left or right. Being young in New Zealand means that home ownership is hard, and if you keep on running a party for boomers, you will die." Holy shit, is that brutal?
Now, remember what I said earlier about that 18 to sort of early 30s cohort of people that may look at the state of things and go, what's the point in voting? There's an issue right there. That is an issue that needs to be discussed with those people.
It continues. I'm trying to fit my camera because I'm like slowly like disappearing into the dark. Wonderful quote. I feel like that almost could be on a t-shirt. Being young in New Zealand means that home ownership is hard, and if you keep on running a party for boomers, you'll die. He's talking obviously about the National Party, so he's saying that this party will die if you don't move with the times. And then says Bishop was continuing on with something that Phil Twyford had started around sort of homes and housing policies, etc. And then sort of the national hierarchy has traditionally been about high house prices going back years, making Bishop's views a break with the norm. And this kind of also plays a little bit into my bromance theory that I have, that there is a lot more in common between Kieran and Bishop than they lead on. I reckon they got a little bromance. I think they see eye to eye on some things. I think they... I know you hate
what
it.
You're saying.
You hate it, but it's there. The pictures say all you need to know. Go and look up Chris Bishop, Kieran McAnulty cricket, and you'll see what I mean.
Absolutely will not look that up. There's nothing good there.
Headline of the next thing says a shifting voter base. Was it Shamabil? Shamabil? Gosh, I'm so sorry. Says the voting base in New Zealand is shifting. National now has to choose where political calculus lies. If you look at the Ipsos survey on housing attitudes, you'll see even amongst older people, there is a growing awareness that something's not right in the housing market in New Zealand. Really? Really?
Shocking.
Really? Shocking? I think we can all see it, guys. I think we can all see it. That narrative has really matured from one going, all for me and not for anybody else, to going, actually, there is a societal problem and we should be doing it. We should be doing something, sorry. What does this mean for the 2026 general election? The Reserve Bank is not predicting much of an increase in house prices, forecasting 0.3% fall this calendar year. Economically speaking, though, analysts tend to be split on the view of whether rising house prices are actually good for the economy. The chief economist at Westpac said in August that rising house prices were usually an indication of nominal economic growth. When house prices are rising, people who have houses generally feel a bit richer, so they spend more. Yes, that all makes sense. That's obviously positive for the economy in a cyclical sense, which is kind of the current theory of why they're trying to push interest rates down so that people have lower mortgages and they have more disposable income if you own a house. Renters, on the other hand, rent just keeps going up. it's interest rates go down.
Those people
Rent
that are living in
prices go
my
up.
investment.
Interest rates go down. House prices go up. Nobody wins. As for national heading into 2026, Shamabeel Kwab believes the split on the issue is set to remain within the party between the traditional old school national and the new school. I think you'll find the leadership will remain very focused on trying to appease the base, and that's what we've seen with Luxon. I mean, essentially, everything he talks about is very traditional, old school national messaging. Bishop is a much more astute politician than people who speak to their base and to themselves rather than to future voters. Kwab says that what is emerging now is a little bit of a splinter. However, he does not expect substantial policy change in support of young people. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. I'm no longer here. I'm fading.
I had to fade as well. Just to match you.
Just to even it out. I'm like literally like I'm not even here
heads.
anymore. I'll fix this. Any final thoughts on that one there, Chewie?
I think anything that humanizes Chris Bishop should be looked at with great suspicion.
There we go. Anything that humanizes any national MP? Is that
they're not
where you're
people.
going?
They're not people and shouldn't be viewed as such. Look, I think Chris Bishop knows what he's doing. And I think he may be just positioning himself as a point of difference. And this may be part of what we were talking about earlier in the week with maybe him trying to stack up support with a faction within the National Party. But ultimately, the way that he sees things is incompatible with fixing this problem. There's nothing that he has said, or more importantly, that he has done that underlines that he has a solution to this. So what problem is he trying to solve? Is the problem that Chris Bishop wants a long and lucrative career? Or is he looking to solve problems?
Yes, that's politics for you. Unfortunately, in today's day and age, it's a game. Sometimes you just have people like Seymour, whose entire thing is based on winning. He doesn't care who he'll step on to do so. Luxon, very much the same. I think he's just in it, like you guys say, just in it for his knighthood. Doesn't give a shit. He literally didn't live in this country. He did not live in this country. And now he's running it. His kids didn't get educated here. And now he's running it. He's out of, literally, the campaign against him was Chris Luxon is out of touch. That rings true today more so than it ever did then. It's still true. They knew he was out of touch. And it literally says in this article that, it's quoted, but, he's out of touch. He represents old school, national, traditional. He's made that very clear with the likes of, I'm a Catholic, and he's Catholic, like Christian Catholic. Very outwardly, gets along with Nicola Willis, who's, trad wife 2.0, mum, boss, their ginger kids running around. Poor kids.
Look, I just hope for a brave future where Christopher Luxon's wife is allowed to have sleeves.
But where would she put those guns that he so lovingly caresses at night?
Like, okay, so here's your homework, fam. Hold your nose and go to Christopher Luxon's Facebook page. He's off at the Business Innovative something or other awards tonight. And have a look at this very normal selfie that he and his wife took. There's absolutely nothing unusual or weird about it at all. You can come back to me with thoughts on our Facebook page or our Discord.
What are the general vibe of the of the comments?
The general vibe of it is hostage situation. Is no, I'd say I'll let you come to your own conclusions.
Well, what's the general consensus in the comments? Are there comments under it?
No, it's just part of a story. So I'm relying on the chat here to put their thoughts on our Facebook page on my blue sky or your blue sky. Ah, there we go.
Crazy eyes.
Yeah, she got crazy eyes. Or Discord. It's a very memeable picture. Do with that what you will.
We have a lot of super chats, and then we need to let you head off into your weekend, seeing as you've got a busy one with the rest of us. Miss Arvids, if Luxon gets rolled and Chippy doesn't, you think it's over? We're already on shaky ground, and I think it's over. If so, in my opinion, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I honestly think there is zero chance of Hipkins getting rolled.
Yeah.
I don't like, and I know we have supporters of Chippy here in our little family here, and we have people that really don't like the guy, and I get it, but I think he's doing an acceptable job for the party and their supporters and their MPs, and there doesn't seem to be any rumblings of him being rolled, whether you agree with it or not. I would suggest that if you don't think that Chippy is doing enough, you don't have to vote Labour. That's the thing. Yep. You can vote Green. If you think there should be more to the left, then vote for the party that's further on the left.
MMP, baby.
Yep.
Over Red Rover. The only US president born after 1950 is Obama. That's a fascinating video. Someone did a video on that, where they basically every single president of the last... Oh, it was Hank Green. Hank Green did a video on it, and he was trying to explain why all of the presidents or potential candidates were all born in like the same decade or like 5 years apart, basically. I think it was like 1947. There was like 3 or 4. Good video. Go and seek it out. It's in the ballot. I recently had a landlord who overreacted and sent a shopping list of issues, including things I didn't do. My landlord got 3 weeks notice as a result. Wait, what? Oh, you got 3 weeks notice?
No, I think the landlord sent a list of issues with his tenant, and then
the tenant said, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah, go fuck yourself. Yeah, fair enough.
Helen McIntosh, my son and I just bought a house together. Only way either of us could afford to. Moved in yesterday. Oh, congrats!
Congrats.
Not traditional, but hey, it's still a congratulations.
But look, if it works, like this is why I'm like, in the system that we have now and the way that things work now, this is why I'm a fan of smaller houses being built and intensification, because if you are paying money essentially to an asset that you own and can sell and hopefully make money on, that is how you build wealth. You know, that is how you prepare for your retirement. Like, I when I see people discussing their family home as an investment, I worry. It's not. You're paying into your retirement. You sell down your house, you buy a smaller one, you know, that sort of thing. I guess in that case it is an investment. But yeah, I worry that some people don't get that. The quicker you can get on the property ladder in our current system, the better off you are. We're not going to transition to a system like Germany, where you can quite happily rent for the rest of your life because we're not set up for it.
Another overread over. Nat's lost the last election because of COVID. I don't know. There was a lot going on during that time. I don't remember. Other than, like, Labour were just good to people. I think that's all they needed to do to get across. They implemented socialist policies and they got re-elected overwhelmingly. Like, I think that tells you all you need to know. Election before last, yes, the 2022.
Yeah, the one that Jacinda won.
Yeah, it was 23, was it? No, that was no, it was
no
2020.
No.
End of 2020. It's 3 years, right? Anyways. You guys know what we're talking about.
All I can remember is my partner and I were in Melbourne, and we'd heard that they had like, it didn't look good, like the election, and then in the negotiations, basically Jacinda, with unfortunately the help of Winston Peters, pipped National at the post. And I remember my wife and I dancing in the middle of a fucking intersection in Melbourne because we weren't going to have another National government. More of that, please.
John Key has a large property portfolio. Yes, he is a multi-millionaire. Chewie hosting Q&A would be like Jeremy Kyle. Fuck yes, I'm here for it. Recharge your 3G bin juice, comrades.
Theoretically, if I did host a Q&A style program, I would have a water pistol. And the moment that I get some diversionary bullshit question, I just start squirting them in the face.
Just have like a drink bottle or a cup that you just like, no.
Bang!
You could be the person rage instead of the politician getting pissed off and like doing a big scene. You get pissed off and start throwing shit around, and they're just like sitting there like, what is going on?
Leaning further over the table and getting right up in their personal space and going, "Are you sure that's the angle you want to take, motherfucker, with me now? Are you going to do this?
Are you sure that's the
correct
correct
answer? In front of all of these people?"
You don't think I came with receipts? Think carefully.
I would have that guy from Taskmaster, the meek guy with the tasks. I would have him on my program and he could just hand me the receipts.
That would be fun. That would be fun. All right, I think I need to get out of here because I'm slowly disappearing again. I don't know what's going on with my camera.
We're getting very silly now.
Yes, we are. Can't do that with Pat.
Pat sent me a very disturbing picture of him watching the show with his bare feet in it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't share that around. He'll be on Wikifeet.
Wikifeet. It'll be on Discord very shortly.
Oh, no. Let's get out of here.
He emailed
Let's go.
me because he's from the 1800s.
Of course he did.
Help us settle a debate, whether it be thoughtful or funny, even if we're all creatures of hate. It's a fine line that we're walking together. For better, push aside the temptation to berate. Let's take a note of the corners we stand in. As many points as the hairs on my chinny chin chin. When the news that we're watching is hairy, knowing all the things that we need to be wary.
tip before I leave you this evening is go and watch the outro on 1.25 speed or 1.5 speed if you want to get yourself ready for the weekend. Otherwise, we've got a very exciting weekend. If you're in Dunedin, come see us tomorrow, Friday at 5:30 p.m. on Edu. I might be there. I might be there at 6:30. And Chewie will hopefully be there, and it'll be exciting.
I'll be there. I will be.
Wonderful. Right. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. And, yeah. Touch grass, as always.
Cheers, fam.
All right, bye. Jenny, bye-bye.